Hello, this is Joanne Hewins with LoveToCreate.typepad.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to show you how to make this cute little 3D Santa. I used to be a person who loved to do punch art, and this is a little bit different. I guess it is die cut art, because I used several different die cuts to come up with my Santa, and I wanted to show you how I did it. We're going to start with making the box, and we'll be using the little treat box dies. These are in the August December mini catalog. They're down at the back. I don't have my catalog with me, but they're at the back of the catalog. Kind of easy to miss. So look down at the bottom of the page, and I think you'll find these. It has a stamp set that goes along with it, but we're not using that today. So this die is the one we're going to use, and we're going to cut it out of a piece of real red. This is a regular card size. It's 5.5 by 8.5. And it really wouldn't have to be 8.5. You could do 5.5 by, let's see, probably 7 and get it in there. I just happen to have this cut at the other size, and we'll use part of this up here for the Santa's hat. So once you run this through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you will get this shape, and it cuts and embosses, just as I said for the machine. It cuts and embosses at the same time. So you have some of these little embossed areas here. Now, I'm not going to need the tall part for the front of my Santa. So I'm going to bring in my cutter or my trimmer. I'm going to put this in my trimmer so that the top of this rounded part is at 1 1/4, and that's on this side of the cut area. Line it up straight up here, and then I'm just going to cut that part away. We won't be needing it, and that will become the front of the card. So let me get a bone folder, and we're going to fold on all of these score lines. Okay, and this box is super simple to put together. You really don't even need to have glue or something to put it together if you didn't want to. And I'll show you how that would work in just a second here. So I'm going to put these little side pieces together. There's a tab, and then there's a slot right in there. Now you could do it from the outside like that, or you could do it from the inside like this. And I'm going to do it from the inside because that leaves a smooth piece on the inside of my box rather than having this extra sticking there. So I'm going to go from the inside out just to leave that a little bit smoother. And see, there's the box already. If I had not cut off this other end, I could just bend it tie something through here on the other piece and you've got it made without gluing anything. But we'll go from here. So I have it together and I am going to glue. I'm going to glue this smaller section to the front. Now you could also use tear and tape if you wanted to. That would be fine. So I'm just going to fold that up. I'm pushing on each side here to make sure that that's closed well. And then I'm just going to hold this for a minute. Okay, so that front is pretty secure. And now I want to put the belt on my Santa. Now for this one, I used the crinkled seam binding ribbon and I colored the ribbon with a dark basic black blend. But after I finished it, I had second thoughts. Do you ever do that? Question yourself when you're done. And I thought it would probably look better with cardstock. So for this one, we're going to use the cardstock so we can compare. I'm also using the Antique Corners and Slides Elements. This is has the slides and the corners. And I have to say, I haven't used this the way I thought. I need to get it out and really use it. But I thought that this buckle was perfect. And so I have put a piece of the cardstock through the buckle. And this cardstock is a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. When I cut it at 1/4, I could tell that it was going to be hard to slide through. So I went back and trimmed it a little bit smaller. And this is about 4.5 inches long. So what I'm going to do is put a glue dot right here on the back of the buckle. So it's going to look like that. And I'm going to put that, I think I might go a little bit lower than I did before as well. And I'm going to put that right in the middle. And I'm going to bend this so that it goes back. And I'm going to take a glue dot and just secure that to the back here. I decided I just didn't want his buckle or belt to go all the way around. I don't know why. Of course, you could have it go all the way around. This way it doesn't show the ends either though. So I'm just going to bend that there. Bend it again at this corner. And then I'll come back with another glue dot behind this belt. And that will come back here and attach just like the other side did. Okay, so there's our belt. Pretty easy. And now I'm going to adhere the back part of this. And I'm going to go ahead and just put the glue to this part because it doesn't cover this whole area. So I'm going to bend that, bend it, push that in so that it's going down all the way. And then I'm just going to burnish inside there a little with my bone folder to make sure that adheres well. So there's our box and our belt. And I do like the cardstock belt better than the ribbon belt. Much, much better. So I'm going to go ahead and take, this is just a regular hole punch. Stampin' Up sold these. Tell you the truth, I'm not sure if they still sell these or not. And I'm going to just take a piece of black and I'm going to do 2 circles, and those will be my buttons. And I'm just going to lay these circles right on top of a glue dot. And then we'll place these on the box. Okay. And there we go. There's the front of the box. So let's start working with our Santa Claus. And for that, I have actually a lot of different dies, that I have used to make this Santa face. And the first one I need is the layering circle dies. And I used the scallop circle to do just the whole circle for the head of Santa, and then I used the smallest circle to give me the face of Santa. So I'm going to put these away, and I'll go ahead and glue those. So and I think actually the back of my circle might look a little better, so I'm going to kind of flatten down that edge, and then I'm going to put glue on this side, and I'm going to glue that kind of near the top and hopefully toward the center. I think I may have this first one I made a little off center, but there you go. And then with some of the scraps that I had cutting out my box, I used the stitched triangles for my hat, and I used the third one in from these tall ones. So that is the one that I used for that. And I'm going to need to trim off the corners of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off all 3 corners. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to bend this like this. So I've kind of started my bend, but I'm going to bring in my trimmer and kind of using that bend as a guide. I'm going to put my triangle here, and be sure you use the score. I'm just going to score that, and that's going to help me get a better bend on here. So I'm going to bend this like this, and I'm going to go ahead and do the white trim on my hat before I attach all of that. Now, trying to figure this all out, I just flipped through and looked at all of my dies until I would find something I thought I could use. So for this trim right here, I was looking at this dinosaur squiggle here. And so that is what I cut out. And when it is cut out, it looks like this. So I had to do a little bit of trimming with my snips on that. So that is the Dino Dies. And I want it to fit across here, and that's why I ended up cutting off the corners. So I'm actually going to come right in here and trim that this way. And then over here, I'm going to kind of come and cut around to this point. And that gets my curvy area, and hopefully it will, yeah, work. Just because I've cut off these corners, it will work better. So I'm going to put, I think I'll put the glue here near the top. And I'm going to glue that on. Now I'm going to glue it high enough that the stitched part is covered up, that stitch that goes across there. And then I'm going to put a couple glue dots right under the hat where it will close to hold it down. So like this. And then for the little into the hat, I'm going to take the hole punch that I had, and I'm just going to punch a hole of white. Okay, don't know why that doesn't want to work. Looks like I may have, well actually there's several white ones in there, but I think they're stuck together. Let me try to do another one. There we go. So I'm going to use that white circle. Again, I'll pick it up and just put it right on a glue dot. They're really exactly the same size. And I'll put this over here on the end of the cap. Okay, so we are ready to attach that to the Santa. So that will look about like that. Let me just put some glue up here at the top. And we do want to leave a little bit of face. So there we go. Right. So the next thing that we want to work on is just the rest of the face. Now let's talk about the mustache. For that, I was looking through and I found my Poppy Moments dies. And to me, this die looked like what I needed. It could look like a mustache. So I've already cut that out of Whisper White. And trying to pick it up. Here it is. And I'm going to take one of my red scraps and cut or punch another hole. Okay, come on out of there. Here you go. And this is going to be that little bit of the mouth sticking out under the mustache. So I'm going to turn my mustache on the back. Just put a dot. Actually, a glue dot probably would have been a better choice. I think that's what I used before. And I'm going to add this up here. Yeah, glue dot was definitely what I used before. And that way, let me get it picked up, it sticks out just a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm going to just, since I've used glue before, I'll use another bit of glue. And I'm going to put that, I want to have a little bit of a chin sticking out. So I'm going to put it there so that there's a little bit of a chin showing. And now we just need the eyes and the nose. So I'm going to bring in, these are actually some of our old pearls that I had, and I have colored them ahead of time with blends. So I'm using the Basic Black Dark blend, and all you do is just color over those. And you might wait a few minutes and go back, or do another layer there to make it a little bit darker. For the nose, I use the dark Real Red and just colored the largest of the pearls. And I did go back and do more layers to get it to be darker. So I've gone ahead and done that so that they're dry and ready to adhere to our snowman. So let me just pick up some of these. And then we'll add the nose. And there he is. There's our Santa. And we will add him to the back. Now in my sample, I used dimensionals to add him, but I'm seeing here that I don't have any with me. So I'm going to just add some glue around in here, and I'm going to just add my Santa to there. And it doesn't take a lot of stuff to, there's the back. It doesn't take a lot of stuff to fill this little back box. I have, in this one, 5 little kisses. These are Santa hat kisses that I found. And you can kind of have to push them down in there. But I was able to get 5 in there. So that's a nice little treat. So there you go. Using the little treat box dies and several other dies. Again, I'm going to pull in the dies that I used, I think. So for the basic box, it's the little treat box dies. For the head, I used the layering circle dies. For the hat, I used the stitched triangle dies. For this little curvy part of the hat, I used the Dino Dies, this die right here. And then for the mustache, I used the Poppy Moments, this piece, which is really leaves for my mustache. So there you go. I have a link on the video to my post about this project if you need any measurements or need to hear anything else about the project. And if you would need to get to my online store, there's also a link on this video description for that, and I would love to help you in any way that I can. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.